Oh, what? Did it go down? May it come back? Alright. Is it back? Alright. Is it back? Alright, cool. Is it stuttering at all or whatnot? I mean, who knows? It could be Windows trying to do something in the background as usual. I'll check. I know it looked, it showed my kilobytes, or, you know, somebody could be on the internet too. At least my daughter's asleep right now. She's not hogging at all. So we're at 10,000. Really don't want to be at 10,000. But the air is clear over here. Better view of Denali out the window. Yeah. So how have you been, Iowa? I probably should shut down. I mean, I can shut down some stuff. I can get rid of. Had a buffer. I did. I mean, I did do some. I was planning on trying to come back to streaming a little bit about 3 months ago, and never really found the time to do it. But I know I went on YouTube and I kind of got some very basic refinement to the stream of like what kind of bitrate I wanted to reset and what kind of output I wanted to do, and I probably could tone it down a little bit. But again, I mean, I got niece staying with us now, and you know, at any given point in time, you don't really feel it when it comes to like gaming in general, but like testing a stream like this, like I did the other day, you know, you don't really know what it's gonna pull. And if there's 5 people on the internet, that's gonna make a big difference too. But I know at least right now there's probably only 2. So, alright. So still don't have my ADF coming in. So I don't know, and this thing keeps turning. I don't know why that's the case. I'm not getting my ADF to work at all, which is weird. It's like stuck an antenna. It's off. Antenna on. I'm not getting my ADF to move at all. But it may not though too. Probably the most disoriented I've ever been in my life as far as, I mean, I know that river. That's the thing, I tell you what, you learn how to fly VFR in Alaska and you're getting somewhere. Normally ADFs is what you have. There's a handful of VORs, but just knowing what the ground looks like. So I know this river, which is the Susitna River, merges with the Chulitna River, which is over there, coming off the glaciers. They meet up right at Talkeetna. So once we get to Talkeetna, then we'll continue following that river all the way down, and it empties in Anchorage. So we'll take this bird all the way to Anchorage. I'm good with that. So I've been doing pretty good. A lot of differences going on, you know. Still trying to find balance in life. That's one of the big things. I think that's one of the things that kind of pulled me back to coming back to streaming, is just because if you find yourself, like, I don't know, missing that connection with a group of people, you know, everybody that I'm seeing flying right now, and anybody that's, willing to watch the stream, and thank you for that, has some sort of connection, passion to aviation for sure. So right. So what a better place to be is to check out, hang out with you guys. I mean, I've been flying a lot, mainly just to kind of, make some money on FSE and see great scenery, and then, and just decompress for the day. So pretty much doing the same thing right now. Just talk to a couple people. I think try not to make it feel like a job like I was the first time will definitely help. And I'm not going to do that this time. I'm just kind of going to enjoy hang out with you guys. Anybody's got Microsoft Flight Sim? Come on in. We'll probably be over Talkeetna in about probably about 5 to 10 minutes. And so there's Mount Denali right there, and then the foot mountain right there, that is the Ruth Glacier right there. On the other side of it is the Talkeetna. I'm probably butchering the crap out of that. It's definitely different. Get you better at speaking some of these native land names. It's awesome. But I want to take the Porter up there. I used to have a Denali scenery for X-Plane. I need to see if anybody made it for well, thank you, Iowa. Yeah, I think there was an aspect of just not really wanting to push the button, and you got to devote some energy, and that's definitely something I've been lacking a lot of. It's just energy in general. Some long days lately, but this is just awesome. Got a lot of people up in there. Too slippery. Funny. So funny. Z-Gold Cat. I love it. I love it. So, how are our engines doing here? Really have not seen any change in cylinder head temperature. Really no way at all should I be full. I should be about half leaned right now. Where's our fuel? Fuel's not doing bad. Oh wait. Looks like left main, right main. Half. The mains are full. The auxiliary is there. So why? Oh, that's fuel pressure. Alright, oh my goodness, that scared me. Oh my goodness. I thought I was at like 2% fuel. Jeez, I'm Pete. Alright, that makes sense now. She's a fun one to fly. They did a really, really good job in the cockpit. I wonder if you can open this door. I haven't got into the finer points of the manual and whatnot. I don't think you can open the door. And I am definitely not good enough on the camera system on this yet to kind of walk back there. The TBM coming into Talkeetna. The way she goes. That's how it goes right there. That's awesome. I'm gonna drop my seat position down a little bit. I go right there. I like that. There you go. Well, I mean, I can tell you right now, as you saw me stumble through the starter procedures the first time, so I just looked at the manual. So that switch that I clicked earlier, that's literally a switch to cold and dark. So don't hit that when you're flying. It's not going to be good. So some of the mappings, I have to look into it. Some of the mappings don't appear to be like standard, so I'll have to look into that. I'm probably gonna file a bug report because I'm not getting indication of what my flaps actually were at. So I'm gonna send them something, let them know that. Other than that, I mean, it's very friendly. But as you can see, if you fly it in icing conditions, you will have a bad day. We almost had a bad day. That was awesome. Yeah, been wondering about that plane. Yeah, I mean, it's funny. It's so funny coming from the X-Plane world because now it's like Fast and Furious. Everything's coming out for 2020. I just switched over 2 weeks ago, or no, 3 weeks ago, and yeah, it's very simple. You're not. It's a decent price too. It's decent prices. I don't believe it wasn't on the market yet. I'd assume it's going to come out on the market because I believe they have one of the other planes is on the market. But right now you can get on an Orbix, which with the installer on there, that makes that easy too. But I mean, the beauty of the plane came with like 10 liveries, authentic historic liveries. This is, what was it, a North Pacific? So probably more of like Canada because it's got the CEF. But it has like mail service on here. Or maybe, I think my livery changed. I don't think I saved which livery I was going to go out on. Talkeetna below us. Right there. In that. I mean, dang, those reflections look so good. Yeah, it looks like a DC-6 or the other two engines. Now, I think that one I don't know if I would get. There's something, I think on my mind, I like challenging myself when it comes to flying and actually trying to like be as precise as you would have to be in the real world. But on the other hand, you have the DC-6 as a challenge. Understand that there was literally 5 people operating that plane in that cockpit, right? So you're trying to do the job of 5 people while flying a plane. It doesn't seem fun at times. That's like the FlyJ Sim, like the 727. Those I watch people fly them and I'm like, oh my goodness, going back and forth between the navigator and the flight engineer and all that. Oh my goodness, that was crazy. But yeah, I think my outlook will definitely be getting the Milviz Beaver when it comes out. I have the Porter. Love the Porter. Porter's very nice. We'll get the Beaver. We'll get the Kodiak. And as far as bush flying, I think we're covered. And I'll just cross my fingers and hope that one day a Cessna 185 comes out, and I'll probably be one of the happiest guys out there. Because that's pretty much all I was flying. Right before I switched, I was flying the Beaver pretty much every other day. The Beaver and Beaver, Kodiak, and Porter pretty much, and X-Plane before I switch. So I definitely like that those are coming. But I think it was funny about, I think where I was talking about before was it's funny on Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 of where the devs, I mean, it's so new that everybody's been working on stuff. It's difficult to fly an X-Plane after flying an Amethyst. Yeah, I can see that. I've definitely said, I don't know if you caught my stream from Wednesday or my YouTube or whatnot, but I think I've come to the conclusion. I talked to a couple people, and here's the deal. Can I get away with some things that I wouldn't be able to in X-Plane? Yes. Does it feel like I'm flying on rails like I was in FSX? No. However, is there any way I could have gotten a more immersive experience with the ease that I can in the sim? And that's no. I mean, you're trying to fly to some place random you've never been. You gotta, especially if you're doing like an FSE flight, where you could, fly for an hour and ended up losing your whole flight just because you crashed or something. Checking airports to make sure there's not a huge cliff in the middle of the runway or something like that, or if you're really particular, making sure there was good ortho in the area or whatnot. I mentioned yesterday or the other day that having like just 6 different plugins running at the same time just to make something look right, when literally the sim right now is doing all the job of the 5 plugins I had before. And I didn't have to buy I had 6 terabytes. I had 6 terabytes of ortho for X-Plane that I just deleted a week ago. It's crazy. Flight characteristics are far better than X-Plane. Yeah. Like, I don't know if you have the Porter. I had the Thuranda Porter and I have the Milviz Porter. They both look good. They both fly well. The Porter flies like you would expect it to fly. Can I do some things like forward slips that you can't do in X-Plane? Yeah, you can get away with that way easier. There's just some subtle things that, like, I'm gonna hold my judgment on, because this sim might still be being worked on. I think one of the things I always look at that kind of is just kind of like a pet peeve thing of mine is understanding, how your flight characteristics are. If I am trimmed to be level flight right now, and I pull power, then nose should come down, not the speed come up. And all of the default aircraft I've seen, the speed comes up first, and that's not right. So, but adjust to it. But like, I've come to the conclusion, still really haven't made any progress on real world flying, flight hours and training, and I just don't know if I'll be able to get a rate of return out of it. I'd like to be a pilot one day just so that I could go fly, but my wife probably won't fly with me because she's got bad motion sickness, and it's a big investment to do if you're not gonna have a lot of people enjoying it, right? So I think I'm gonna hold off on that. So just to curb the passion and love for aviation, this is the sim really that I've found. And performance, I can tell you, I'm just not. I don't see any performance issues. I have not had a lot of performance issues at all in this sim. I mean, I've had one or two stutters in Orlando, Florida, when there was 40 planes flying over me that I would have like every 10 minutes an X-plane. That was about it. So, pretty impressed at that point. So let's tune in Anchorage's VOR, just so we can get our bearings on that. And that is 113.15. So let's dial this in, 113.15. And boop. Alright, so let's see where we're at here. A little bit of a stutter, and it's because something unplugged, and I literally have no idea what it is. I didn't touch anything. It's really wonky on the VOR. I think this is stuff they're working on, like this. I think now I know why some of the guys that like to do IFR flying aren't too keen on it yet. Alright, so we need to go about 17, and we're pretty much on it. We'll go a little bit this way. Alright. But yeah, you know, Iowa. Yeah, it's been pretty good for thus far. Yeah, I mean, I just, like, I mean, we got into that little icing condition, and then I had a little issue where I pretty much went back to cold and dark, you know, and then currently, so the FS Economy client for Microsoft 2020, I guess it's like so new that somebody's building the database for it for the planes, and you can't cheese it like you could any of the other ones. Like, it literally has to be dead on in the aircraft config file, right? And it's got to be in the system. Well, obviously you got a brand new sim that's got new planes rolling out pretty much every week, and the system's not built up yet. So yes, of course, the Electra is literally not in the sim client yet. So I was gonna fly an FSC flight, but couldn't yet. So I don't know how long those requests take to get processed, but I'll find out, because I know I looked today. Actually, I looked 2 days ago, because obviously the plane was, the Aeroplane Heaven was teasing it for the last, what, probably 3 weeks, and they teased it for about 3 weeks, and then coming soon. Well, I mean, we've been in the X-Plane world where soon means that we still got another 6 months worth of work to do, right? But, and then it dropped. Well, I had looked last week at, you know, the Electra's pretty cool, and probably the last Electra that was made was for like FSX or something like that, right? So there is not a lot of them in FSE, FS Economy, and there's literally only 3 that are for sale, and they jumped up in price 100K as of today, and so now they're probably going to be untouchable coming down the road. But this would probably be a really good FS Economy plane. 11 passengers, plenty of fuel, probably be a good cargo hauler too. So this could be a moneymaker in FSE for sure. So I believe we're over Wasilla. Actually, as a matter of fact, right off the nose right now is Wasilla. And the reason I know that is just because there's a lake right there next to Wasilla. And then there's a long, skinny lake right here. And then this lake right here with that little airstrip right there, I own in FSE. So I pretty much fly these things without any nav aids, just looking at the ground and following this road to the other side of the cove over there. So, but yeah, Wasilla's always seems to feel like the halfway point between Talkeetna and Anchorage. But also I was flying Papua New Guinea, which is really nice because having that nice ortho scenery over there that worked, I could not get a good source for ortho scenery in X-Plane to make it look a lot better. I think I found one later, but there was still a lot of clouds in it. Alright, so we're down to a quarter. Down to a quarter. I wonder if I have any in the auxiliary tanks. See, that's where I'm interesting. What is that over there? Carburetor air temp. Okay, so there's the carburetor air temp. So let me see if this jumps up. Oh, I still got the carb heat on. Jeez Pete's. So yeah, carb heat does not work, or is not modeled yet, because I had that on and it was only at 50. And we'll check that in a second to see if that drops down, but I don't think that's working. Oh. Yeah, flight characteristics. And, you know, when it comes to flight characteristics, too, is a limitation or the way that the code's written for this game? Is it what developers are pushing? Because if you are a Sobo, remember that I always felt like this game was definitely going to be, let's see if I can get some rudder trim in here. Of course, so rudder trim is not working in here, so there's my rudder trim. My rudder's all right. Where's my coordinator? So it's saying I'm pretty centered, but we could go a little bit right. See, so my rudder trim, I feel like it's doing it, but it's not showing the animation. Kind of the same thing with the flaps. It's not showing the animation or the indication that I'm moving it, but it does seem like I am moving it. Anyways, where was I? So I just keep thinking that there's a portion of this sim, it's just solely, definitely always going to stay generalized so everybody can have fun. Like the casual Xbox player or the kid or the future, you definitely see that they're marketing to the future, right? Because all the planes have G1000s in them, right? So all the future aviators of the world, the airline pilots that we'll have are the 8 to 20-year-olds that are flying an Xbox right now, right? So what better way to learn than the stuff that's going to be the standard down the road? So, but I that's where I kind of always still think that this is going to be marketed to the general population, right? And you know, you don't want to have something X-Plane complex thrown into a sim like this, because how could you do, let me try to think of a good one. how could you throw like the Thoranda Beaver with the rep package into this with somebody who's playing an Xbox with an Xbox controller, right? That's rough. There's a lot of switches. I'm thinking, oh, I'm like, all right, so like the Airfoil Labs King Air, if you had every switch modeled, and the way that they have that one set up, that's stressful. It's pretty stressful trying to make sure that you got everything, bleed airs running, and you do your start procedure correct and all that. Definitely different. We are looking at Anchorage. It's nice. Nice. There's that front that we were talking about early on, building up out there. Looks like we got a little ice buildup. Wow, what a shot right there. It's like a B-52 Mitchell kind of, but it's more, it's sleek. It's a sleek B-52. B-25, I mean. It's just sharp looking. Golly, it's sharp. It looks like it could go like 400 knots. Pretty cool. So, I think we'll get on, not flight assistant, we'll get on ATC, we'll get on Anchorage Approach.
Anchorage Approach ACE 575.
We'll see if this automatically does it too.
Charlie Charlie is type Lockheed 4 miles northeast of 44 Alpha Kilo 9,900 feet. Request flight following.
ASA 575 Charlie Foxtrot minus Tango Charlie Charlie Anchorage Approach. Squawk 7527.
7527.
Squawk 7527 ACE 575 Charlie Foxtrot minus Tango Charlie Charlie.
Didn't. Nope, it did do it. 2916. 29112345 Acknowledge radar contact.
Roger, ACE 575 Charlie Foxtrot minus Tango Charlie Charlie.
Alright, so we're gonna drop down, we're gonna drop the power here, start our descent in. We'll start a slow, like, head towards the island, and I'm assuming I didn't get winds. Probably do this. This is another challenge. So I like the built-in ATC system. It's nice because it kind of gives you an understanding of how it works. But like in this is a nightmare over here because there's literally 100 airports within a 50-mile radius, and it's like trying to catch Anchorage right now is going to be nearly impossible because it's just bouncing like crazy. Yeah, so I'm just going to wait until we get closer. Alright. So we're going to chop some power here. Haven't flown yet. Haven't landed this thing yet, so that's going to be interesting. Add some fuel. Throw in. Alright, so let's look at the carb heat. Alright, so it did not change at all. Alright, good to know. Alright. Fuel's still good. Didn't burn as much as I thought we were going to. Gorgeous. There's our outside air temp. We get it. So give me. Alright. Yeah, I don't see it. Usually on the window. Is this open? I don't think so. So, feels like it's weird. Messy Hoss, thank you for joining. Thank you for the follow. Welcome aboard. We are in the new Electra, making our way to Anchorage, as you see straight in front of me. How are you doing today? Are you streaming tonight, Iowa? I don't know if Iowa's still here. Perfect timing too. Sun's already at that nice little hanging sunset. I mean, all right. So I think the perception of altitude is definitely you lose it on this because we're still at 7,500. So I'm gonna chop a little bit more power here. I want to stay at 10. Throw the props full forward. Mixture full forward. Landing lights on.
ASA 575 Charlie Foxtrot minus Tango Charlie Charlie contact Anchorage approach on 119.1.
119.9. Alright.
Going to 119.1 ASA 575 Charlie Foxtrot minus Tango Charlie.
Usually on Wednesday and Saturday nights. Okay. Yeah, that's probably. I really don't have an idea on my scheduling just yet. I think Monday and Wednesdays are a good day for me. Monday night, Wednesday night. 1-4. 1-1-2. Okay. Alright. So they didn't ask us to enter the Charlie yet, so we're gonna be close because there's Lake Hood. Farther from me, Anchorage. There we go. Alright, Anchorage Tower. Full stop.
Anchorage Tower ASA 575 Charlie Foxtrot minus Tango Charlie Charlie.
See what we can get.
5,500 feet with whiskey to land.
ASA 575 Charlie Foxtrot minus Tango Charlie Charlie.
25 right.
Altimeter 29.1.
So that's another one too, is it always says make left traffic when right traffic would make sense here. But I acknowledge.
Make left traffic runway.
So if I was making left traffic, and I'll pull it up here, I'll show you. So the far parallel runway out that way is 25 left, and the one closer to the terminal is 25 right. So it would actually be making a left downwind for 25 left and then go to right, which it would make sense just to land on 25 left. So I can even do that. I'll select it for 25 left. Nope, it won't let me either. Wait, what are they doing? What is the winds? 5-2 at 7. Why wouldn't I do 7 then? I'm gonna do 7 left. Did I do it?
Anchorage Tower ASA 575
There we go.
Charlie Foxtrot minus
7
Tango
left
Charlie
is the one.
Charlie requests
Oh, okay.
runway 7 left.
ASA 575 Charlie Foxtrot minus Tango Charlie.
Oh, now the wind changed.
Altimeter 29.13 wind tree 50 at 15.
So that would make 3-3 the better runway. Alright, so the one without the ILS is the one we're hitting for. Alright, but we're going 7 left. We
Fly
can
left
do it.
base runway 7 left ASA 575 Charlie Foxtrot minus Tango Charlie Charlie.
Alright, so flap speeds, I don't really know. So let's get it down. I'd say 140 sounds right. There's the first notch. I remember I don't have any indication. So let's go 2 notches. And I'll go a 3rd notch. Alright, so we want to stick about 100 on the approach. Alright, mixture full, props full. Gear down. Gear coming down, gear down. Alright. Let's turn base. Turn final. Alright, so we're pitched for 100. What's our air? So we're pretty close.
ASA 575 Charlie Foxtrot minus Tango Charlie Charlie wind tree 50 at 15. Cleared to land runway 7 left.
She feels good. She's gotten sluggish. I don't know why. See, that's what I'm talking about right there. I went up to 110 airspeed from giving power, and it should have just only given me arrested my descent a little bit.
ASA 575
Oh,
Charlie
sorry.
Foxtrot minus Tango Charlie Charlie. Did you copy?
Cleared to land runway 7 left ASA 575
Ooh, I got a little bit of stutter there.
minus Tango Charlie Charlie.
I must have something running in the background that I don't know. Still a little bit high. Alright, looking good. 100 knots. Let me go one more notch. I don't really get the feeling I put another notch in, but I think we're looking good. I'm happy with it. We should be able to land with that. Alright. Still 4 whites. I'm happy. Wait to get in there and grab one red light. And I'll start. There's one red light. Adding a little power. Oh, she flies nice. Oh. Alright. 2 reds. Adding more power. Alright. We got a good glide going here. 300 feet per minute. Alright. Cleared land. Good. You're done. Alright. We dropped up. Ooh, a little squirrely. We're coordinated still though. Alright, drop the power a little bit more. Alright, still holding that 95. Which is good. She feels good at 95. Good descent rate. She's flying good. She doesn't feel like she wants to follow this guy. And airfield is made. I'll chop the power. And oh, she feels good. Yeah. She's gonna float a little bit. And we'll touch those mains down right there. Both mains are down. And ooh. She's still wanting to fly though. I chopped my power. Whoa, 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 whoa. She does not want to.
ASA 575 Charlie Foxtrot, minus Tango Charlie Charlie, turn next taxiway.
She was a little wild until that tail came down. Alright, tail steering's back on. Okay. I gotcha. Didn't she say turn next taxiway? Alright.
ASA 575 Charlie Foxtrot, minus Tango Charlie Charlie, contact ground on 121.9er.
Knowledge ground handoff.
Going to 121.9er, ASA 575 Charlie Foxtrot, minus Tango Charlie Charlie.
Alright, clean up the plane. Alright, welcome to Anchorage, everybody.
Anchorage ground, ASA 575 Charlie Foxtrot, minus Tango
Alright.
Charlie Charlie.
Not as
request
busy
taxi
in
to
Anchorage as it was yesterday.
ASA 575 Charlie Foxtrot, minus Tango Charlie Charlie, taxi to general aviation, parking by a
But
taxiway at
last couple of
Kilo
days
Charlie,
it's been
cross
crazy.
Runway 25 right Charlie, cross runway 25 left Charlie.
Taxiing to general aviation, parking by taxiway Echo Kilo Charlie, cross
That
runway
looks crazy.
25 right Charlie, cross runway 25 left Charlie, ASA 575 Charlie Foxtrot, minus Tango Charlie Charlie.
Well, she was a beaut. She did the job. It was fun to fly. Beautiful, beautiful airplane. You don't have to be an aviation master to be able to fly this plane whatsoever. You know, just read the manual, understand what each gauge is telling you, and I believe it's this third button right here. You can get a little cheat and get one of the Garmin's in here. So that's pretty cool. As I said in my stream like 3 days ago, is I'm kind of an old school when it comes to gauges, kind of old school steam gauge guy. But I'm starting to learn the G1000 system. I've flown with them before; they just weren't my preference. But I'm starting to like them, and I definitely like the synthetic vision when you come into, you end up running into some IMC that you weren't expecting. It's, it can get you out of trouble for sure. Make our turn. We'll park over here. I believe this is the Raven Air parking ramp, but so waiting for. I'm expecting somebody sooner or later to come out with an Anchorage scenery, which would be pretty cool. Whip it around like that. Park it. Alright, parking brake set. Boom. Let's turn that car beat off. Alright, everybody. Well, it was a little bit of an uneventful flight, at least on my end, just because I wanted to kind of make some money on this run, but I definitely enjoyed the flight. Love this plane. It just looks gorgeous. It looks gorgeous. It definitely belongs in this sim for sure. It's probably going to be a niche plane. There's going to be, a lot of the old school pilots or historians are going to love just having this. Like I said, you're not going to have to be an aviation master to be able to fly this thing in the air. But I will double check the manual one more time, but it doesn't appear like it has any de-icing features, so that could get you in trouble if you like to fly like me in Alaska or Canada and whatnot. So you got to pay attention to your clouds. Make sure you avoid flying through clouds. and pick your altitudes right. If you have to stay below the clouds, then you have to stay below the clouds. But if you can't pass the terrain, that's what happens. You cannot make it to your destination. So just keep that in mind. Uh, but she's beautiful, especially a lot of polished liveries that they have on there. This one's like the darkest polish one. A lot of the other ones are lighter, but it shines really well in this lighting here on the sim. It's good. But hope you all enjoyed this stream. I think I'm gonna end it right there. But stay tuned. Like I said, we'll not really have a definitive schedule. Um, I kind of fly by the cuff. Like there's some days that are just rough, and it's just I don't even fly when I schedule myself that I'm gonna fly. So, um, so generally Mondays, because I'm fresh that day, the freshest of the week that day. Mondays will come on. I want to get back in the porter. Probably popping a guinea soon. I got. I was in a big grind for FS Economy, but not nearly as much of a grind right now. Paying off a couple of planes. Might try to get back on some tours. I know Alaska Air. You're looking for a good virtual airline to join, check out Alaska Air Aviation. They have a great Alaska-based VATSIM community, really good community. Not necessary that you be on VATSIM and whatnot, so don't freak out about that. But really good group of guys that have a good Discord and do VFR flights in Alaska. But they have a lot of tours, and some of the tours that they have, I might pick back up on. One was the Grand Canyon tour, which I flew over the Grand Canyon the other day in one of the X Cubs and was blown away how much even better it looked in this sim. So maybe we'll jump back on that tour. That'll be entertaining visually for you guys. And we'd also have the Bahama Islands tour as well. So things to come. I'll start. I'll definitely start streaming maybe twice a week. But I'll just hit that follow button and you'll get the reminders of when I'm going on, and I'll usually start my flight about. But again, I like teaching. I like explaining things. So you have any questions, don't feel free to just chat. This is a chill stream. We're just chilling here. Any aviation question you can ask that I might have the answer to, I'll help you for sure. So again, thank you much for stopping in and enjoying it. Thanks again, Iowa Scotsman. You have a good night. It was fun hanging out with you again, as usual. And with that, I'm out of here. Have a good weekend, everybody.